Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first, these are your major headlines for this broadcast. Funeral services of Ambassador Araya conducted. Potable water project in Keren and commendable forestation activity. On your international, at least 132 civilians killed in Burkina Faso's worst attack in years. Niger's Twitter ban government orders prosecution of violators. Welcome to your domestic in brief. Funeral service of Ambassador Araya, Eritrean permanent representative at the African Union, was conducted today, May 6th, at the Asmara Martyrs Cemetery in the presence of government and PFDJ officials. Ambassador Araya, who joined the EPLF in 1981, started his career from 1986 until 1991 as a representative of the Eritrean Relief Association, ERA, in Ottawa, Canada. After independence, Ambassador Araya served his country and people with utmost dedication as ambassador in various countries, including in Sweden, China, African Union, and the United Nations. Ambassador Araya is survived by his wife and 5 children. Expressing deep sorrow of the passing away of Ambassador Araya, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs expresses condolences to families and friends. Ambassador Araya passed away on the 27th of May at the age of 76. Preceding the first phase of the potable water project in Keren city, worth over 14 million nakfa, has been finalized. The project that is being conducted in cooperation with the Ansaba Region Administration Project Addahalo, members of the Defense Force and the public, includes installation of 22 kilometers wide water pipeline for reservoirs, and that could hold 3,000 barrels of water, as well as water pumps, indicating that the project that started in 2020 is being conducted with internal capacity. Mr. Shishai Tasfai expressed appreciation for the complete commitment and participation of the members of the Eritrean Defense Force. Mr. Abraha Germatzion, head of the water supply in Keren, said that with the growing population of Keren city, the project will have significant contribution in alleviating the potable water supply problems of the residents. Commanding the contribution and participation the residents demonstrated in the implementation of the project, Mr. Shishai called for a judicious use of the project for its sustainability. Mr. Ismail Saleh, head of the education in Massawa subzone, said that 90% of the tree seedlings that were planted in school compounds in the past 30 years are in good condition as your final domestic, indicating that the trees planted are conducive with the climate situation in the area and are conducted with proper guidance of agricultural experts. Mr. Ismail said that extracurricular activity of the students will have significant contribution in the development of the teaching and learning process and in the devotion of planting trees, pointing out that the government institutions and religious institutions, residential houses, and especially schools are in the main implementers of the tree planting. Mr. Solomon Araya, head of the Forestation in Massawa municipality, commanded the participation of the students in the program. Schools in Massawa subzone have been awarded special prizes for outstanding contribution in the Green Campaign at the ceremony held in connection with the National Green Campaign, day 15th of May. Up next with your international, do stay with us for more. And on your global report, the death toll from the worst militant attack in Burkina Faso in recent years has risen to 132, the government said on Saturday, after armed assailants led siege overnight to a village in the jihadist-policed northeast. The attackers struck during the night on Friday, killing residents of the village of Solhan in Yoja province, bordering Niger. They also burned homes and markets, the government said in a statement. It declared a 72-hour period of national mourning, describing the attackers as terrorists, although no group has claimed responsibility. Another 40 residents were wounded, government spokesman Osani Tambora later told the reporters. The United Nations said Secretary General Antonio Guterres was outraged by the attack, whose victims included 7 children. Despite the presence of thousands of UN peacekeepers, attacks by jihadists linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State in West Africa's Sahel region have risen sharply since the start of the year, particularly in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, with civilians bearing the brunt. The violence in Burkina Faso has displaced more than 1.14 million people in just over 2 years, while the poor arrayed country in hosting some 20,000 refugees from neighboring Mali. The latest attack pushes the number killed by armed Islamists in the Sahel region over 500 since January. According to Human Rights Watch, West African Director Keren Dufaka, in March, attackers killed 137 people in coordinated raid on villages in southwestern Niger. On your final report, Nigeria will prosecute anyone found to have breached the country's ban on the social media firm Twitter, a government spokesperson has told the BBC. The government announced on Friday it was suspending Twitter's operations in the country. Mobile phone networks blocked access after being ordered to do so, but some users are getting around the ban. The move comes after Twitter deleted a tweet by President Muhammadu Buhari for breaching the site's rule. Some users saw his post, which referred to Nigeria's civil war for decades ago, as a valid threat towards a secessionists movement in the southeast of the country. His government said on Saturday that tweet's removal was disappointing, but not the only reason for the temporary suspension. The government said that there has been a litany of problems with the social media platform in Nigeria, where misinformation and fake news spread through it have had real world violent consequences. Twitter said the announcement for a ban on Friday by Information Minister Leah Mohammed was deeply concerning. The move also brought widespread condemnation from human rights groups and international powers who say it will limit free speech in Nigeria. In a statement, Justice Minister Abubakar Malami said he had directed for immediate prosecution of offenders of the federal government ban on Twitter operations in Nigeria, telling the public prosecutor to, in quotation, swing into action. The message was targeted at corporations and individuals. The minister's spokesperson, Umar Gwandu, told the BBC the government of Nigeria alleges that Twitter was being used to undermine Nigeria's corporate existence. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we are back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these were your major headlines for this broadcast. Funeral service of Ambassador Araya conducted. Potable water project in Keren and commendable forestation activities within your domestic reports. And on your international, at least 132 civilians killed in Burkina Faso, worst attack in years. And on your final, Nigeria's Twitter ban, government orders prosecution of violators.